Okay, it's time to buckle in. Time to buckle in because I have a lot. I have a lot this month. I didn't think I was going to have a lot, and then all of a sudden, it just kept coming in. Okay, this month I have been inspired, extra motivated, very, very keen to read lots of things. Partly because what I have been reading has been so incredible that it is just pushing me forward to read more and more and more. I cannot get enough. Please like this video. Please subscribe. Come back. I would like to see you again. I would. I really appreciate it. I hope you're well. I really do. And please let me know what you read this month in the comments below. Let me know what you're reading. I would love to know, especially in October. So many good spooky books to read. So I hope you read a spooky book this month. I definitely did. Okay. I'm just going to jump right in because we have a lot and y'all have other things to do. I got other things to do. Okay? But I want to give you a quick little panorama of my month. Okay, first and foremost, most importantly, Dracula by Bram Stoker. Whoa. Okay, I just have to say whoa. This is my first time reading this book. And if you have not read it, do yourself the favor. Next October, think about it all year. Say, next October, I'm reading Dracula. That's what I did last year. And I'm so grateful I did. I could not put it down. I just flew through this fairly long novel. It's like 400 pages. And the story is so incredible. And it's just bursting with good stuff. I feel like this was a book that I appreciated for like it. The more you read, the more you can see how the books are talking to one another and referencing each other. And I feel like this book really rewarded my efforts. You know, I saw little bits of Homer and apparently the rhyme of the ancient mariners in this, although I missed that because sneak peek, I'm reading that right now. And it was very exciting to notice those things. Okay, to start to notice those things after all these years of reading. Every time you notice a little more. And now I see vampires everywhere. After reading this, vampires are everywhere. Vampire imagery is everywhere. And so that's always fun to look for. I'm not going to say much on this because I'm just going to direct you to the podcast, as I do all the time. They go through it so well. Okay, I'll leave the link below. If you're reading Dracula, you must listen to the podcast. But the one thing I will say is that people often misread this book. Okay? And the thing that really, one of the first things they said in the podcast that really got me is that Dracula, like with monster stories in general, but with Dracula, let me say it exactly. I think I wrote it down. Okay, the monster isn't a wounded person. It is the wound. So when you read it, thinking of Dracula as the wound, the problem, it's a totally different story. And a really great one. And I won't spoil the ending, but very good ending. Okay? Very powerful ending. If you need to borrow this, let me know because I'll read that bad boy. Next. Okay. More Autumn Delights. I'm going to do these two together because they're kind of the same. I finished the Emily series by L.M.Montgomery this month. I read the second and third one, which are Emily Climbs and Emily's Quest. If you have read Anne, or really almost anything by L.M. Montgomery, you know the delight. These stories, I want to be Emily in a lot of ways. She sees the world in such a magical way, and so when you read this, you feel like you can see the world in a magical way, and I love that. These are books I'm sure I will read again. If you've read Anne, similar vibe. Just really reveling in the glories and beauties of mainly nature. I will say, the third book, Emily's Quest, they really drag you along for a while. You just want the resolution so badly. And I'm not going to spoil it, but I do wish that when we finally got the resolution, that they let us revel in it and dwell in it a little longer. I was like, there's so much anticipation, and then it just like ends. And I was like, oh, I kind of wanted to enjoy that a little more, but she wraps it up very quickly. So that's my only qualm, my only little letdown. But other than that, reading these and the first one was pure joy. I started reading these as my book before bed just to fall asleep, and then I couldn't just keep it to right before bed. I had to read it all day until it was done. So if you want a joy, if you want to read something that will just spark a little fire in your heart, the Emily series, incredible. Next one. Oh, okay. I don't know if this is the best. Dracula might have been the best, but this one's also pretty close up there. This one I read this month is called The Medieval Mind of C.S. Lewis by Jason M. Baxter. Now. This book talks about C.S. Lewis, almost his mission, if you will, his life goal, the way he saw the world. And it explains it, breaks it down, lays it out very succinctly, very clearly, but also in detail. Reading this made my world feel so much bigger. And I do feel like I need to read it again. It got me there's a chapter on Dante in here and why C.S. Lewis loves Dante. And that got me so excited to read Dante. There's just so much more goodness in the world than we could even imagine. And I feel like books like this help you glimpse it just a tiny little bit. I felt like I drank a big glass of water. I felt so full and satisfied and also excited to keep reading. This is one of the books that really got me fired up this month. Blew my mind in the best way. Connected all these pieces that I felt like I had floating around me into a coherent narrative. Thank you, Jason and Baxter. All right, moving speedily along. I only have one of these in a paper copy, but I listened to the next 2 Dune books in the series. I listened to The Children of Dune and God Emperor of Dune, which is this guy here. Like I mentioned before, I had read 1 through 5 almost 2 years ago now, year and a half ago, and then I lost steam. And now I want to read the 6th one, but I feel like it's been too long and I've forgotten too many details. So I'm re-listening to them all. We've now done 1 through 4. Got to listen to 1 more, and then I'll read the final one. And that's my plan. But listening to them fairly quickly, quicker than I read them, has been nice because I feel like I'm getting a sense of the structure of the whole story. I can't say I've quite figured out what exactly is going on. Like I know, like as far as the story is going and like what's happening with the characters, that I understand. But it feels richer and it feels like there's more there, but I don't know what it is yet. So we're figuring it out. We're thinking about it. I'm sure the last book might be very helpful for that. Might offer some clarity. But I'm really enjoying it the second time, and I'm definitely going to finish the series soon. Well, probably in 2025. I feel like the rest of my year is kind of filled up. But you never know. I might have an inspiration. Anyway, I've been enjoying it. That's all I can offer you on the Dune series right now. Okay. Just 2 more bits. Okay. And then we're going to wrap her up. First, I have been dipping into this collection of Victorian ghost stories. I've been enjoying them. I think I've read 3.5 so far. Today's 30th, so maybe I'll wrap up the 4th one. But so far I've read The Old Nurse's Story by Elizabeth Gaskell, An Account of Some Strange Disturbances in Aunguer Street by J.S. Le Fanu, The Miniature by J.Y. Akerman, and the other one I am in the middle of is Under Cornelius, His Story, or Uncle Cornelius, His Story by George MacDonald. This has been fun. I will say I've been reading these short stories with really intense detail. I've been mostly just enjoying the spookiness of them for the season. But I imagine this is a volume that I'm going to dip into every October and keep enjoying those stories. That's it. There's ghosts a little scary, but not too scary. And not gross scary, you know? Just eerie. Eerie, uncanny, creepy. Now we come to this big boy. This is the Bible. I did not read the whole Bible this month. Okay, relax. Relax. But my book club did read 1st and 2nd Maccabees and the Apocrypha, which is only, okay, like rough like this. Okay. Boop. Just that little bit. Maccabees. I've never read the Maccabees before, and nor heard much about them, is the truth. The first Maccabees is just a war history. People fight these people, and then and a bunch of people die, and then other people betray other people, and then more people die. Okay, that's about the first Maccabees. Second Maccabees is a little crazier and kind of gory and a little nasty, and also with a little. There's some chariots floating in the sky. There's like a lot going on. And I can't say I have it all sorted out, but there's a lot going on. Second Maccabees I found much more interesting than the first. I'm glad I read it because, the Apocrypha, I think in its entirety is kind of just a mystery, just a little like gray area in my mind. I don't really know anything about it. So I feel like this was a first exposure. I don't quite know where to put it yet. It's interesting that there's these books that are in some Christian traditions and not in others. And so I've been thinking about that. Like, why is this part of some traditions and not part of others? If you have strong feelings about Maccabees, I would love to hear them because I'm just getting started. Anyway, thank you for listening. That's everything I read in October. Again, please let me know what you read. I want to know. I hope you're having a lovely day. I really do hope you read a good book. You can read Dracula in November. That's fine. Just so you know. That is fine. You can do that. It would only bring you good things. Goodbye. I will see you very soon.